Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how you can cut this stylish backless halter neck shirt with a collar. So if it's something you would love to learn, do well to watch the end of the video, like, share and subscribe. So let's get right into the main video. So from the top here is my shoulder line and my starting point, and I have my button allowance of 1 inch. So from the shoulder line I'm going to come down to mark my bust point, and I'll go ahead and extend this point across like so. Then from the shoulder line again I'm going to come down to mark my waist point. For my shoulder to my waist is 15 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way to have a straight line, and I'll go ahead and extend the point across. So after the waistline, the next thing is to mark the full length of our shirt. So I'll be marking 22 inches as my length. It depends on how long or short you want yours to be, so you go ahead and mark whatever length you want for your shirt. Now that we've gotten our vertical lines, I'm going to come to the shoulder line here, divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll mark that. I'll come down from that point by 1 inch for my shoulder slope. I'll mark my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'll connect from my shoulder slope into the neck width like so. The next thing is to mark our arm length. How to get your arm length? Divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches. In my case I got 7. Then I'll extend that point across. So this is my chest line, my bust line, my waistline and our full length. So I'm going to come to the chest line and mark my shoulder measurement here to have a straight line. From the shoulder slope I'm going to connect all the way to the point we just marked. Then I'm going to come to this line, divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. The midpoint of 7 is 3.5. At that point I'll go in by half an inch. I'll mark my bust circumference divided by 4 on the chest line and then connect my armhole. The next thing is to mark our dart. To mark your dart, you're going to divide your nipple to nipple measurement by 2, and I got 3.5. I'm going to mark it on the bust line, waistline and full length. Then connect the point with a straight line. I'm going to come to the waistline and mark half an inch on both sides of our dart leg like this. Then from the bust line I'm going to come down by 1 inch. Then from the full length I'm going to come up by 2 inches. Then I'll go ahead and connect my dart. Next is to impute our round body measurement. So I'm going to come to the bust line, divide my bust by 4. I'll mark it right here. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'm going to mark it here. Then the 1 inch for that I'm going to replace it. I'll come to the full length and I'm going to divide my hip measurement by 4 and mark it on the hip line, on the full length. Then I'll go ahead and connect my markings. So this is it. So I'm going to come here to mark my neck depth of 3 inches. From the neck width I'm going to connect all the way to the neck depth. To create our halter neck I'm going to connect with my curve rule from our neck width all the way to the bust line. Please, not to the chest line, no, connect it all the way to the bust line, just the way I'm doing here. You can see what we have here. Then I'm going to mark the midpoint of this line. So I'm going to place my tape and see what I have there. Whatever I have there, I'll divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint of this line, and I'm just going to chalk it down this way. I'm going to connect with my curve rule all the way to that midpoint like this. Then we are going to come here and tighten up this place so we don't have any form of gaping here. I'm going to mark up an inch on both sides of this line. I will connect it back into the initial line with my curve rule. See, this tightening here is very important so that you have a very nice halter neck dress. So I'm going to replace this 1 inch we took here, and I will extend this line all the way to that 1 point. I'll also come to the bust line and replace the 1 inch we took there for our dart. Then I'll go ahead and reconnect my armhole like so. So you see what we have here. This is our new armhole. Then I'll connect from here back into our initial line this way so we don't have any shortage. So this is what we have. So we don't need this line anymore. We're going to cut it out. So this is basically it for the front. I'm going to come here and go up by 2 inches to give it a very nice curve at this area. I'll use my curve rule and connect back into our line this way, and this is it for the front. We'll go ahead and cut this out just so we can work on the back pattern. So this is the front, and we are going to be cutting times 2 of this one. You are going to cut times 2 of this one and times 2 of this one. This is the center front and the side front. So let's drop the back. For the back, I'm going to mark 5 inches here. You can actually mark 6. It depends on how open you want your back to be. I'll go ahead and connect the points with a straight line this way. So this is all we are going to use for the back pattern. You know, it's a half scale pattern. I'm going to trace out everything we have here all the way to the end. Like I said, it's a half scale pattern for the back. So this is all we need for the back. I'll just trace this side all the way. Everything we have here, I'll just trace it out, and this is what we are going to use for the back. It's not a full back, or how do I say it? So this is it, and then I'll just rule a straight line from this point here like this, and this is all for the back. You can see the shape we have there. If you look at the thumbnail, this is exactly what we have for the back. I'm just going to cut this out, and we are going to cut times 2 of the back pattern. We are going to cut times 2 of this also. So this is it for the pattern drafting. I'm going to take the back like this and place it on the front pattern to be sure that the sides are equal. You can see that they are equal. So I'm going to keep this aside just so we can work on the collar. I'm going to mark 1/2 inch all the way like this across, and I'll rule a line. This will be like our starting point. Then from this line, I'm going to go up to mark my collar stand, how wide I want it. So I'm using 1.5 inches for the collar stand. You can do 2 inch, 1 inch. It depends how wide or small you want your collar stand to be. I'll rule a line across this way. I'll just rule a line like this. This is not necessary though. So the next thing, you're going to measure around your neck to get the length of your collar stand. Measure around your neck. Don't make it too tight. You know, this is a very free shirt, so that is not tight. So whatever you have, you're going to divide it into 2. Take your tape and measure around your neck circumference. Just measure it around. Whatever you have, just make it a little bit free. So I got 15 after measuring my own. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. So this is the length of my collar stand. I'm going to mark the 7.5 here. Then I will rule a line across this way. Then at that point, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches like this. Then I'll connect with my curve rule from that 1.5 inches to our starting line like this. See what I did there? Connect from the 1.5 inches to the starting line with a curve. You know, our collar stand is not straight. Then from the collar stand, I'm going to go up by 2 inches. This is going to be our collar 4. It depends on how wide you want your collar 4 to be. You can do 2 inch, 1.5, 3 inch. It depends on how big. And then I'll connect from this end to that 1.5 inches also like this. So we have both our collar 4 and then our collar stand. So this is our collar itself, and then this is our collar stand, and this is basically it. If I've made a detailed tutorial on how to cut collar before, so if this one is not too detailed for you, please go back and watch it. And this is all we have for this tutorial today. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and please do well to like, share and subscribe. If you have any question, drop it in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.